see you got dressed for the live stream.
Hey, nothing's too good.
Well, hello everybody. Max and Max's Models here. First, real quick, let's get a voice check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Steve.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And Ken.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And it'll take about 20 seconds before people can tell us if they heard us and loop back. I didn't have a chance to make a drink. I was having a coffee, and then I couldn't find some. They cleaned the office, and I was trying to run around like a idiot trying to find where they put everything, and so I just barely got things set up. So I guess you get me, no cough medicine tonight.
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
I literally just told you. God, Ken,
I'm sorry,
you're not at the staff meeting even when you're at the staff meeting. And that's my job. I'm the daydreamer. Okay, they can hear us all right. Okay, guys, well, I might sneak off during one of, when we have a screen up with a picture and Steve is, going into, I'll have him do a rather lengthy explanation of something. I might skulk out and go get myself some cough medicine. But for now, regrettably, our guest, John Kitt, could not make it. He had a last-minute thing pop up. That's life. We'll have him another time. And of course, that meant I had to airbrush him out of the intro, but oh well. I disappeared in Russian style. He never was. He cannot be because he never was. So, guys, welcome aboard. Everybody knows it's a race week. All kinds of races are going on. Well, we got Memorial Day. We got what? IndyCar? Indy 500? And now, okay, somebody's getting some feedback. So I think, Steve, Ken, that may be you. So just make sure the volume's down a little bit.
Oh, that wasn't feedback. That was me changing the volume level.
Oh, well, don't do that. It's annoying and it scares the cat. Anyway, Steve, before we get onto the models, he had started the Kmart, Lola, and Duracell. I got a whole bunch of pictures of kit model car. We're going to be getting kit cars. But Steve, real quick, for those who are like me, can you explain quickly the difference between IndyCar, Formula One, the main varieties, and what kart is?
I mean, if you look at IndyCar racing and and Formula One racing, the two things that they both have that are common, which is probably one of the only things they have that are common, was that IndyCar racing was Hi Deb. IndyCar racing was.
Is she gonna make you go outside again? But wait, as soon as I saw the phone, I was like, "That's gonna come up." Oh God! And I haven't had anything to drink yet. Jesus, it'd be so much more fun with a couple of snoots in me. So I'm sorry. So you said what they have in common?
Like both of them were made by manufacturers to promote their products that were available to buy for the consumer. So they raced to make aware that their cars were fast, they were durable.
So the whole thing was a big advertising thing.
Pretty much. And in the beginning, a lot of it was funded by the manufacturers. There were very few independents. Indy cars were primarily ovals. Formula One races were racetracks that were laid out in some manner, way, shape, or form. Some encompassed regular roads that were used for everyday traffic, part of them were, and others were dedicated tracks. The difference being that up until probably 10, 15 years ago, Indy cars primarily were on ovals.
Right.
Formula One cars were on what we would call a circuit, which was a variety of turns and straights. If you looked at the Indy cars from the old days, and they still make the oval cars that way, if you look at the car head on, you'll find that the suspension pieces on the, you're looking at the car, it would be the right, which is the left side of the car, are shorter than on the right.
Because they
because
just
you're
keep
always
turning one way.
right, because you're only turning to the left.
To use a NASCAR phrase, it's a left turning car.
That's right. Step on the gas and turn left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, when did these start? I mean, Indy and Formula One. About when did they kick off?
Indy cars started in like around, let's see, the first Indianapolis was like 1911, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Formula One cars were a little bit later than that. But in Europe, you had sports car racing and Formula One kind of evolved together, whereas here in the United States, that was a little bit slower.
Okay.
And then as Indy cars evolved and Formula One cars evolved, everybody used to make their own car. They would pretty much make their own engine or source an engine from a specific manufacturer. Indy cars, you had a lot of people made their own cars. They did use a lot of the same engines. So, I mean, the engine of choice for a while was the Offenhauser 4-cylinder turbo. Then they switched over to the Cosworth V8. Now today it's Honda and Chevrolet. Formula One, every manufacturer, for the most part, unless they're leasing an engine from another manufacturer, uses an engine that they've developed.
Okay. So Formula One's more of a technology pusher. Well, let's go back to the days of yore. I'm going to throw up a picture here. This is the company is called Ace Whitman. It's a 1939 issue early Indy. It says Indianapolis Racer on it. And of course, it's owned complete. By the way, are Indy cars in Formula One, is exposed wheels required?
Now, yes, because there are certain guidelines that they have to follow. Now, in IndyCar, the chassis is a spec chassis, which everybody uses the same one.
Mm-hmm.
And then they pick which engine they want, and then of course they do their own special tweaks to the car to make it do what they want it to do. Over in Formula One, except in the brief period of time in the 50s, when Mercedes ran full-bodied cars in Formula One that covered the wheels, they always had exposed wheels.
Okay. Now, this model, I'm not familiar with the Ace Whitman company. I'm assuming this is a styrene kit. It says 8-inch hollow shelf model. So they're specifically pointing out that this is not a working model car, but just a hollow shelf model. And if it came out in 39, I'm guessing it's probably celluloid acetate or something like that. I doubt you could find one today. If you did, it'd probably be horribly warped. But this is about the oldest of the styrene kits I could find. Predates World War II. And I just thought I would throw that up as a starting point. But I didn't find quite as many Indy and F1 cars as I expected, because I see them a lot. But the AMT, when I wanted to look at the March series, the 86 and the 88, and I guess March makes all of the Indy cars now, or most of them.
No, at that time, back when they made the models.
Uh-huh.
In the 70s and 80s, March had made a lot of the chassis, and a lot of the kits were of those chassis with, like Salvino's. They put out a Mustang, and there's 10 different decal sets because 10 teams run them. So it was the same thing. You had March, you had Penske. You had a lot of different manufacturers at one point.
Mm-hmm.
That would make the chassis. And then, it was always which engine were you going to use.
Now it says March 86 and March 88. Is that a year or is that a model number?
It's probably the model number.
Okay. So, by the way, I just ordered that Domino's Pizza one from, it should be on its way to me now for our IndyCar build. And that'll be due at the end of next month. So guys, get cracking either an IndyCar or an F1 car. Vintage doesn't matter. And this will be my first, I'm pretty sure this will be my first car of this nature, open-wheeled racer. The only other race cars I've built up to this point have been like NASCAR. And so and I built a dragster, which was a monogram kit. and it was the Blues Brothers one and Schumacher's, and it was a surprise. I was really impressed how easy it was to build. They look so complex. I have no idea what to expect. I take it you've built some of these before, Steve.
Yes.
What do you think of them as kits, like the AMTs? Because we're going to get into some other ones.
Well, the AMT kits were, of the Indy cars were, they were like Monogram was to stock cars.
Okay.
It was pretty much like Monogram did the stock cars, AMT did the Indy cars.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good kits. I mean, for the scale and everything, they're good kits. Now, they're nothing by comparison when you look at the F1 cars from Tamiya, which are just spectacular. I mean, the detail is just amazing. But the Indy cars that AMT did were very good kits.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah.
And Tamiya did a couple of, they did two IndyCar kits. They did one of Mario Andretti's Kmart Lola, and they did Rob Boisel's Duracell Lola, which was basically the same car, just with different livery.
Mm-hmm. thus the entire business model for Salvino's.
Yes.
So how much horsepower are these things running?
About 900, 850, 900.
And what do they weigh?
Like 1,600, 1,700 pounds.
Jesus, that's like X15 performance.
Yeah, well, that's why they're going down the back straight. They're doing 235 miles an hour.
Jeez.
Yeah,
those spoilers are not decorations.
And that's where aero is your friend. Let me tell you. I mean, just look at, I mean, I don't know if anybody who's listening has ever been to Indianapolis for the race. I mean, I've been there. I watch it every year. It's a religion. But, just, you're going so fast. It's amazing that your mind can process everything that's going by you. And you got to be thinking out there in front of you. It's quite a feat. People think, oh, well, it's driving. I mean, no, it's not. It's, and while they're in the car, they're doing a lot of different things. I mean, they're working. They have a lever, and it softens or lightens the suspension and changes the loads while they're driving. And then they have push to pass. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in there, other than they're just stepping on the gas and turning the wheel.
Well, there's also they have simulators for these now for them to train on, also, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Well, the kind of God, what does one of these cars run? $1 million, $2 million?
Yeah, they never really, cost them out. But yeah, I mean, the amount of R&D and tech. I mean, because they're always testing. They're always trying to come up with a little thing here that'll, give you 1,000th here, a 10th here, another mile an hour here, But
You're saying they pit in like 3 to 5 seconds?
Well, in Formula One, I mean, they come in, they change 4 tires and gas it, and they're in there 3 seconds.
And
which is like, you're like, what?
Well, I know you not a big fan of the movie F1. I saw it because I don't know any better. But
did not see it.
And one thing I did like about the movie is it showed how big the research team for the car was.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I mean, they have their own wind tunnels. In a lot of the cars are made largely of carbon fiber. They have their own ovens to, manufacture parts, which all have to be to a certain specification because the rules dictate it. But, they get a car and then they go to work on it. But it's amazing.
Well, the reason I got the Domino's car, for those that didn't tell, is I basically put myself through college working for Domino's. That's about as close as a connection as I could come up with. What are you going to build for the Indy or Formula One car build?
I'm not sure. I have a couple that I'm thinking of building, but I'm not sure. I mean, the problem is when you have so many, what do you pick?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the problem.
Well, I when I went from AMT had a decent selection of Indy cars. When I went to Bandai, who makes a fair number of race cars, I didn't really find that many. I did find the Lola and this Brabham Ford in 1/16 scale, but I
It's a Formula One car.
okay. So the Brabham's Formula One and the Lola is IndyCar. All right. So it's like they make one of each, but of course, I'm using ScaleMates as my primary reference, and also a few other places, but it didn't seem like Bandai, who makes a fair number of race cars, actually had that much of a selection going.
No, that Brabham is an Indy car. I'm sorry.
Oh, they're both Indy cars.
I thought you were talking about the Formula One kit because they make a Formula One kit.
Oh, okay. All right. No. I've just grabbed the pictures I've got and everything are just sort of random samples from each company to sort of show. Some of them didn't do much. In fact, Otakai or Otaki, however you say it, they had the STP, the Turbine car, which I think is just a cool car. And I'm surprised that technology didn't kind of rule the day, being that it's, a turbine.
Well, both things that happened to it, which made it fail very late into the race, were minor parts.
Yeah, and they had nothing to do with it being a turbine.
No, one was a bearing and the other one was a fuel pump.
But this is Otaki again. Didn't have that many because they had a pretty good catalog in their day, and I thought for sure they would have a whole bunch of them because they had some. But I was like, no, not that much actually. And
Ken, wake up, Ken.
Are you here, Ken?
Ken, wake up.
What? Are you talking about me again?
Yeah.
I'm reading the comments.
Okay.
That's his job. He's supposed to monitor the comments.
All right.
If he finds something particularly pithy, then he stops us.
I mean, as far as Formula One kits go, Tamiya, they have it covered on both ends. You get the 20th scale and the 12th scale.
Yeah.
IndyCar kits, Salvino's has made 2 or 3 of them, which is because it's pretty much a spec series, so it's the same car,
shell. Yeah.
5 or 6 different decals for different drivers, but it's a nice kit. A little pricey, but it's a nice kit. And AMT hasn't made any in years, but when they made them, they made a very broad swath of kits. MPC made a few.
I've got a couple of them here. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. And since you brought up the AMT kits, I grabbed a few of them. Generally speaking, I think most of us prefer AMT to MPC. At least I do, given my experience. When it comes to the car kits, I just think the plastic's better. But I found that AMT had a decent selection. And from a couple of different areas, there's the Penske Z7, and now Parnelli Jones's car. I take it this is obviously an older.
Yes, yeah, that's one of the last cars before they went to rear engine cars.
Okay, so that was one of the last front engine cars.
In the Dan Gurney, because he raced in Formula One, he knew Colin Chapman from Lotus. And he paid to bring Colin Chapman over to Indianapolis to see the race. And he convinced Colin Chapman and put him together with Ford to put a Ford V8 into the Lotus chassis and modify it to run at Indianapolis. And that was in '64.
So the Formula One cars were already rear engine mounted by then?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Formula One cars were engine mounted by about '61.
Okay.
So, they came over with Jim Clark and Dan Gurney. They made 2 cars. And they did well, but the problem was they ran Dunlop tires. And at the time, everybody was running Firestones, which were made for the track. So the tires kind of undid them.
The Dunlops don't lap, huh?
No. So they came back the next year with right tires, 2 cars, and Clark won the race. And then everybody switched to rear engine cars.
Now, what's the big advantage of the rear engine car?
Well, first of all, you can see better in front of you. If it blows up behind the driver, not in front of the driver. And it's a better weight distribution.
So handling is an issue.
Handling is way better because the engine's back where the drivetrain is. There's no
Okay.
drive shaft to go the length of the car.
Hmm.
You know, and I mean, it worked because all cars are rear engine now, you know, and Formula One cars were rear engine for years before that.
Have you built any of these AMT?
Yes.
What? And okay. Have you built any by MPC?
Yes.
Okay, we will do that comparison here in a little bit. I assume in general though you prefer the AMT kits.
Yeah, the AMT kits. Now, the one kit that MPC did make of an Indy car, which is a really, really good kit, is the one of the original Turbine car.
Right.
That kit is really good.
That's you're talking about the MPC turbine car.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's really good. And then MPC, and then AMT followed up when they came out with the Wedge Lotus cars, which were based on the Formula One design, but they had the turbine engine behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that one. That was a really good kit too, and that's been repopped several times. That particular kit.
Now this Penske Indy Special says built either as a Norton Spirit or a Sunoco. So I gather this is a classic example we're talking about. You know, everybody's basically driving the same car, so you can just put different decals in there.
Well, Penske had two. They were both his sponsors.
Oh, okay.
So he, you know, Penske would traditionally run 2 to 3 cars at Indy, and still does. And for the most part, they had 3 different sponsors. So each one would have a different paint scheme on them. So that worked out great for the model kit companies because, you know, you just one mold and 3 sets of decals and 3 boxes. You know.
Well, Bill, your KLSC is saying that he has the MPC turbine car, needs to finish it. Well, Bill, now you have the perfect excuse to finish it by the end of next month. You can make that your submission. And JM Claudic says, be careful. Some of the MPC Indy kits from the mid-'80s were reboxed AMT kits from the 70s.
Yes, they were.
So, you know, I'm basing mine on the few MPC sedans that I built. Like I years ago, I think I did a side-by-side build. I built mid-'60s GTOs. I did the convertible from AMT, and I did the hardtop from MPC. And although I love both of them, there was a distinct difference in them, to be sure. Mainly in the quality of the plastic and the fit. But they both looked great when they were done, though. So if I hadn't dropped some
Hey,
glue on
Steve.
the freaking hood.
Yes, Ken.
Andy wants to know what Indy car kits are still in production.
Not
Salvino's.
many. Not many. It's just the Salvino's one. Is really it, because the kits that were made, they were sort of a time capsule. And you know, when they changed the design of the real car, and the interest in the kits kind of fell off, they didn't make new kits. But Salvino's is about the only one that has, I think they have 3 Indy cars. That's about it.
Well, what's the story on this Rizlone special? I've seen that. Seems to be a very well-known.
That's the one that Bobby Unser won the Indy 500 in, the first Indy 500 win he had.
Was Rizlone the maker of the car or the sponsor?
No. They were an oil company. They were a sponsor.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
If you watch the movie with Paul Newman winning, that's the car that he allegedly drove in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Unser Olsenite Eagle. I've heard several people mention this car. Apparently, it's a very famous race car. What's the story on
for it
it?
to pop up, but is that the blue one?
It's the white one, the number 48.
White one. Yeah.
It's,
That was a Gurney Eagle, and that was a new design, and that car did very well.
About what year was that?
That was like in the late 70s.
The Bobby Unser Olsenite Eagle. Now Olsenite, was that again a sponsor?
That was a sponsor.
That was a sponsor. Okay, so that's what confuses me. Since I don't know about the cars, I don't know if that's who made the car or that's who sponsored the car. And
Yeah, that's usually part of the licensing deal. You know, is that you have to sort of include, you know, the team and the sponsor in the packaging.
Well, AMT also did this Willard battery. First off, what is Willard Battery again? I gather the sponsor.
Yeah.
Okay, so who made the car?
The car was this one. Okay, that was a who made that car?
Agajanine.
Agajanian was the guy who owned the team that put the car together. JC Agajanian. That was probably a Curtis, frame, and they put their own body on it.
I'm guessing early 60s, late 50s.
That was late 50s, early 60s, yeah.
And I'm looking at this thing. I don't know if this is the same kit reboxed or because one says 132nd.
It was a Watson. That's what it was.
It was a Watson. Okay.
That was the last car, front engine car to win the Indy 500.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, what about the model says 132nd scale, but I don't see a scale on one left. Do you know if they just rebox the same kit or do they make it in two scales?
No, because I have that kit and it's a 24 scale kit.
Okay, I thought it was a different scale. I was like,
yeah.
That says a lot about a car's popularity when they make it in two different scales.
It was a very popular car. That car ran for more than 1 year at the 500 because in the older days, before the rear engine cars came in, they would run the same car for 2 or 3 years, make a little change here, a little change there, and then somebody would come up with some new frame or new chassis or new technology, and they'd then switch cars or they'd make their own cars.
Okay. Definitely a different time.
It's a way different time.
And I'm guessing back then they didn't have the gigantic teams they have now. I mean, I guess they had a substantial team.
They had a couple of them, but not most of them. Most of them were, for lack of a better word, they were kind of like a bunch of guys, and somebody had some money, and they made a car or two, and they ran the whole USAC circuit, of which Indy was like the crown jewel. But those days are gone because they used to race a lot of races. They'd race on dirt, they'd race on ovals, they'd race, all over the country.
Same car?
Same car.
Wow.
But now, you don't have that anymore. You have it costs a ridiculous amount of money to field a team. They now have, there's ovals, there's road courses, so it's the cars have to be set up completely differently.
Yeah, they're super specialized. Francois Stripe says that Willard Battery was a chassis made by A.J. Watson from Glendale, California. Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Caswain says something I agree with. A return to pure stock would be a shock to the system, but more interesting. I really don't believe you should be able to call yourself a stock car unless the car came off the lot and you're using the core engine and transmission. You can rip anything out of it you want. You can jack it up, but it should be a stock car. And of course, obviously, you can put in all the safety gear you want. But I think it'd be a lot more interesting if they actually put real stock cars out there, did it all, Smokey Unix style. Here's the rules. Let's see how good you are at cheating.
Yeah, well, that ship has sailed.
But we got to see it,
Yes, we did.
And
Steve, they should make them from stock parts too. Also, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When did they start custom making their own transmissions?
Pretty much early on, because they would change the gearing. They'd make the gears out of different materials to make it stronger to hold up. Now, you got to remember, once you're up to speed, you're not shifting gears. You're only shifting gears back in to get out of the pits. But once you're tooling, you're just using the high gears.
I understand that, but I was just curious that I heard when I went to the Daytona a few years ago that those people, they make their own transmissions. They cut the gears, the body and everything. I think that's just amazing.
Well, that's NASCAR.
Trey makes a point. He goes, "I'd love to see Unlimited class, run what you brung."
Yeah,
and it's kind of like the old air racing. back when was it Daryl Greenemeyer brought a DC-7 to the Reno Air Races, and everybody's like, "You're 100 miles an hour slower than all these fighter planes." He goes, "Yeah, I ain't got to stop to refuel." And he came in like 4th place. Oh, they call was it Snoopy or what they named that airplane? Anyway, so I would love to see just put it on the track and make it go. That man, you'd have guys out there with so much stuff. These races would all be more interesting if they just got rid of all these rules and said,
just make whatever you can and show up.
It's got to fit in this box and look something like that.
I mean, you talk about NASCAR, and it's quote unquote stock car. There's nothing stock about that car.
No. Did anyone make a Marmon Wasp?
Yeah, they do. Somebody made one, but not a. It was like a resin kit. But it's not a. Nobody made a styrene kit.
Well, somebody was just asking me about that. Who made that van that had the articulating center? So it was like a front. It's like one of those cab over pickup trucks, but the back articulated. And he was wondering if anybody made a kit. And he found a garage kit. Wasn't Dodge? Who made?
The Superbird?
No. It was a van. It was a truck, but it was like had the cab up front, but the rear end articulated. They said the Army Gamma Goat technology came from it. It looked like one of those Dodges that had the the cab up front and the what was that side loading van or truck that had the
the little Corvair?
Corvair. Apparently Corvair made one that articulated the back end.
Oh yeah, I saw an article about that today in the paper that the GM military division had configured.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I was like, even if it didn't. I mean, well, the Army used. We had Gamma Goats when I was in the Army, and they had the articulating metal. But and they call it a goat for a reason. Bloody thing goes just about anywhere but straight up. But I was like, that'd make a cool thing to make a kit out of.
Well, Franco makes a good point. The old Can-Am series, that was the closest to race whatever you could come with.
Yeah.
And there were, specifications and rules, and it was dominated for years by the McLaren team until Porsche decided to get in, and they came out with this 1,200 horsepower 917, which just absolutely wiped the floor with everybody, that virtually put the series out of business. Because it just won everything and nobody could get close to it, and that was it. That ended it. And that was really good racing because, like you said, it was sort of, there was a lot of innovation. There was a lot of run what you brung, but those boys, they really raced well.
Well, when I look at these things like this Pennzoil one I got up here, all I think is, it's basically a 4-wheeled motorcycle that you lay down in. By the way, what does CART stand for?
Championship Auto Race Teams.
Okay.
That was another thing that really hurt the Indy series because you had the two warring factions that sort of split off, and then they eventually got back together and moved it along, but that kind of put them in a malaise for a few years.
Yeah, dividing the audience up. Only so many fans.
They wouldn't allow some. If you went to CART, USAC wouldn't let you race in the Indy 500, and so they'd run their own 500-mile race, and it was pretty ugly.
Well, moving on to the next kit model company. I'm not familiar with these guys, but they make a lot of these cars. They're called Tameo or Tameo.
Tameo. Yeah.
Tameo. What do you know about their kits and their cars?
Not much. I've never built one.
I wonder how expensive they are. I'm guessing they're like Salvino's. It seems like this is what they do. So I don't know if they make their own molds or if they got somebody else.
Hold on. Let's find out.
I'll let you do the digging. And of course, being an all-American redneck boy from the deep south, I'll root for anybody who's got Budweiser on their. Where I'm from, they talk about all those pudgies down here having beer bellies, and I'm like, you might call them Bud bellies because 90% of the beer sold down here in my youth was Budweiser.
Okay, these Tameo kids, they're white metal kids.
Oh, never mind. I'm working on one of those at Spitfire, and it's intimidating.
And they all go from about high 70s to, 150.
Well, that's not outrageous, you know.
Now, it depends on what who the subject is.
I just had a really, really stupid thought,
Uh-oh.
and that was maybe I ought to go ahead and just get one just to see what it's like to build one, you know. But I'll wait and see how this Spitfire comes out first. I mean, who knows? I might decide, to add a medium.
White metal kits they're really good to build.
Are they?
I built a couple of them when I worked at Matchbox. The guy who was the R&D head,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the guy who developed the slot cars for Matchbox.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big white metal guy, and he got me hooked on it. He bought me a couple of them and brought me over to his house and showed me his collection. They're pretty much all 43rd scale, and it's like doing a real car because it's metal. You polish up, you get the body all smooth. You use car paint on it, through an airbrush, or they really make really nice kits, and it's different than styrene because there's certain things you do or you can't do to them. But boy, when they're built, they look really pretty.
Well, I guess like a die-cast kit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're saying you can put car paint through like a regular model airbrush?
Yeah, if you thin it well enough, you can. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, you can also use a rattle can, but it's he used to use car paint. Yeah, I mean, here Franco says Studio 27.
Oh, they were the very next. Here, I'm going to put them out. They were the very next ones in line. I got their Dahlia right here. So 1999
and they are ridiculously expensive.
Okay, are they white metal or resin or plastic or what?
They're a combination of all.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, multimedia kits. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at one of Dan Gurney's Olsenite Eagle, or not Olsenite Eagle, of his Gurney Eagle, and the kit was $1,100.
Jesus!
It's like 12 scale.
Well, this one's 1/25th scale, so it's not quite so,
Yeah. But they make really cool kits.
I was going to ask you about the Studio 27, but when you said $1,100, I was like, okay, that is all the information I need on.
Well, that was for the 12 scale one. I don't know.
Still, that means that this one's probably $300-400.
It's probably 200. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, look it up while we're chatting about it. Have you seen one of these kits personally done, or?
Yeah, I've seen the one that I was interested in getting. I saw it. It was ridiculous.
And I take it that it was a really nice kit, though.
It was phenomenal.
And 1/25.
I mean, it was just like they took the real car and just shrunk it down. They're not bad. They're between $80 and $175.
Oh, well, that's again like the Tamios. That's not so bad. I mean, because I figure you're going to spend a month or two working on a kit like that. Mm-hmm. So you think about it, even including a couple $100 worth of supplies to go into it. If it keeps you busy for a month, so basically $300, it kept you occupied for a month. I mean, that's one night out at a decent restaurant, with a bar tab. So.
No, excuse me. The company I was referring to, Sarah Jane put it, is Factory Hero in Japan. Those are the ones who make the 8 scale, but those are the ones who make the $1,200
okay.
kits.
Okay.
They are spectacular. Thank you, Sarah Jane. I appreciate you for correcting me. But they are absolutely beautiful. It's like you took the real car and shrunk it down. And they even sell you the right color paint for the car.
Oh. I own some Studio 27 F1. This is from Franco Tripepi. I own some 27 F1 kits. They are very expensive, difficult to put together, but out of this world details and quality. Sounds like an overgrown from Genie kit or IMC. Old F1 designs from 350 upward, but they're very difficult to find. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, so these are kits for master model makers, advanced people who, Epoxy putty is another essential one. But okay, see, you're getting into some pretty, Yeah, I know what you're doing. But then I go to some of these model paloozas or whatever, and you see some of the builds on the table, and it's one guy, he takes it to every show I've been to. He's saying he built it several years ago. It's one of these. It's an earlier model race car, but it's all taken apart, like where you can see, like all the parts, the covers are all laid out so you can see everything. Of course, the work is just insane. It's like a big exploded diagram. And he always wins because it's just a flawless build. But it probably took him 2 years to do that.
Yeah, J.M. Chaldic's another expensive kit manufacturer of race cars is Protar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I have a couple of their kits, and they're expensive, but they're really good. Larger scale too.
Oh, by the way, J.M. told me that the way to say his name is Claudec.
Okay.
He says clawing the deck, so I think Godzilla. I'm like, okay, the time is 7:41.
What do we do? 41 minutes in. Whoever has 41 minutes in wins.
So it's J.M. Claudec. And I do make an effort to say people's names correctly. Two Brazilian brands make great. Okay, I've got Iratani in here. In fact, I'll just go ahead and bring them up. And because I was going to ask about this is the Iratani Lola T96. And while you're snooping around, see how much one of those runs.
What was it?
Iratani, Iritani.
Okay.
Out of Brazil. Oh, Lance Ravel had 45 minutes. He was only 4 minutes off. He might be the closest one. Steve, what do you know about the drop tank cars? Oh man, we talked about those about a year ago here.
Yeah, the drop tank cars were basically for salt flat racing. Yep.
You're welcome.
There was an abundance of drop tanks that were available after the war out in the West Coast, and these guys that were hot rodders got the idea that it's kind of aero. It flies on a plane until they drop it, and we can put an engine in. They usually put a flathead Ford engine in, and they put a little bubble canopy in it so they could see out of it, and they turned them into race cars.
I just love that. Damn it, I had an hour. Actually, I don't know if this is true, but supposedly the idea happened while they were still deployed overseas. That some mechanic had, found some dent-up drop tanks he couldn't use because there's no way they were going to use a serviceable one. And somebody got the bright idea, Now, and whether that's a wild wives' tale or not, I have no idea. I have a little trouble thinking those guys had enough time to do that, but you never know. They were a creative lot.
Yeah, I don't have anything coming up on Iratani.
Iratani, Iritani.
Yeah, nothing's coming up.
Oh, they're that rare. That's how you know something's rare. It's not even on eBay.
Yeah, if it's not on eBay. Who's looking for a Calypso?
Did you find one?
No, there's one here on eBay.
A Calypso?
Yeah, the Ravel monogram Calypso.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. You can't find those things.
$180.
That's actually not as bad. I heard people were asking $300 for them. That's not actually. Now that's the ship Calypso, right?
Yep.
And it look complete.
Let's see. What does it say?
So this is on Evil Bay.
Yep. Let's see. Let's give it a look.
There you go, Max. Go for it.
No, Ken, I've got 350 other models that are waiting for my attention, and I just bought one, that Domino's car. So I'm like,
Well, if you just bought one and you got 350 models already, I don't understand.
What's 351?
I was looking at my spare wheels and everything. I almost thought about kit bashing a Formula One car. I'm not spending any money. I got the parts here to make one.
This says the kit's new with the cellophane torn.
Well, guys, there's a Calypso on Evil Bay, So, next one, the Monogram. I know Monogram made quite a few cars, and they had some selection in Indy cars, this sort of stuff. I picked the STP car because when I was a kid, STP stickers were everywhere in the 60s. They gave them out at the gas stations. In high school, when I was in middle school and grade, that we were putting STP stickers on everything.
Okay, now let me give you a little bit of a backstory on STP.
Okay.
Andy Granatelli used to be the sort of face of STP.
All right.
Did the commercials, was in all the ads, would be at all the races because they had a race team. So there was a certain point where he lost that position.
Okay.
Who took over for him in being the guy who was the intermediate between the race teams and STP was Salvino's father.
Really?
Yes. That's how Salvino was able to get all of the licenses.
He's part of the family.
To get all the decals and approve all of the teams to let him make their kits.
Well, isn't that special?
Yep.
So does STP stand for something?
Kits. Excuse me?
Does STP?
It's always there's always a what does it stand for, and you get a million different answers, and you never really get a definitive answer of what it really stands for.
If I remember, wasn't STP an additive?
Yes, it was. It was an additive.
Did you put it in the gasoline or in the oil?
Oil.
Okay.
Hey, Max.
Wild
Dad says only 350. That's just a start.
You mentioned STP, no. I think of the King.
No, Sluggo, you are correct. There is no model kit of the 69 Bronner Hawk that Mario Andretti won the Indy 500.
What, couldn't get the rights to it, or just...
I don't know. There's a Franklin Mint car, but that's it. There's never been a model kit.
Who would you say has made the most IndyCar winners?
Penske.
Okay. What about Formula One?
Formula One, that's boy.
Probably.
Probably Ferrari.
Wendell says STP was a product of Studebaker Packard. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, it could stand for Studebaker something Packard, and.
All I know is STP was the thing you always poured in your car if your engine was making noise when you were going to trade it in.
Liquid sawdust.
I had a rep who worked for me, and him and his partner went out and bought Jags. And Jags are notoriously horrible at that time. Yeah, they not as much now, but they were for really bad oil pressure. Horrible, and they would have a lot of engine failures. So he had this car for a couple of years, and his partner called him and said, I traded my Jag in at this Mercedes dealer, and the guy, I told him about you, and he'd be interested in getting your Jag. So he says, yeah, well, I have like no oil pressure. He says, well, you know, so he calls the guy up at the dealership and tells me he wants to come down. Is he going to be there? And he says, yeah. So he goes to lunch, and he goes to the auto parts store, and he buys about 8 cans of STP and pours it in the engine. So he starts the engine up. The thing's got killer oil pressure. As he drives to, he was in Valley Forge, PA, and this dealer was outside of Baltimore. So as he's driving down, which is not that far of a drive, as you know, as he's driving down there, you can see the oil pressure going down and down and down as it's heating up and it's thinning out. He goes into the dealer, and the guy says, oh, your car looks really great. He goes, want to take it for a ride? He goes, no, let's sit down and make sure we have a deal first before you drive my car. And then, so he keeps the guy in there for about an hour and a half, trying to do the deal. They get a deal done. The guy
making sure it cools down first.
Right, made sure it all cooled down. Gave him the key. The guy gets in the car, starts it up. The oil pressure pegs. He drives the car. Okay, fine. They do the deal. He left. He gets a Mercedes. He goes home. About 2 days later, the dealer calls him up and he says, how come? He says, your car has no oil pressure. He goes, I don't know what you did to it. He goes, it was fine. You drove it. It was okay.
STP stands for Scientifically Treated Petroleum.
Okay,
that works for me.
Somebody else said it was Studebaker transmission products.
Yeah, another one said Series to Petty. Apparently he won with the STP car a lot.
Well, they were one of his sponsors. And after he just had the car in Petty Blue, he did the red and blue, which was kind of like the colors on the STP can. For years.
Well,
See, Slago says his father used a roll of toilet paper for an oil filter. There we go.
I heard our shop teacher told us he knew a guy had a Willis Jeep and he was using a roll of toilet paper as an oil filter. And
Now that's MacGyvering.
yeah, well, you look at an oil filter, and it's not exactly sophisticated device. Now, Monogram also made the Valvoline IndyCar.
Yes,
And
they did.
Valvoline is another one like STP. It's one of those names that's just been around forever. The thing is, I don't even know if these products are any good. They're just so well marketed, that. But Valvoline's primarily just an oil, not necessarily. Well,
Yes, it is.
They make a lot of other products too, but the IndyCar, I'm not surprised that IndyCars are often promoted or sponsored by car companies. Like you say, the whole thing started as one big promotional. And all I was thinking to myself was, it's like 1925. They're out there on the brickyard, guys are plowing into the wall and exploding, and the owner of the race team, because it's the whole idea is to sell his products, goes, "Well, we've killed 3 drivers this year, but by God, sales are up 28%."
That's it's the old win on Sunday, win
on Sunday, sell on Monday, yeah, and it needs to be that way again. But I don't
killing drivers.
No, Ken. The idea was that the cars, especially with NASCAR, but the product that was being pushed by whatever car won, brought attention to it. Particularly in NASCAR, if you won with a Pontiac, then everybody wanted to go to Pontiac because they're winning in NASCAR. And, personally, I think it would be awesome to see a bunch of 79 Camaros and Trans Ams and Mustangs out there going around the track with just a roll cage and a crash helmet. And it's like the gladiatorial games, yeah, you're going to lose some people, but hey, it's all part of the sport. Are you not entertained?
That would be awesome. I had one of those cars. I'd love to race that my Trans Am.
Ken, if they ever start doing this, I'll get you a 79 Trans Am just so you can go out and race it as fast as you can.
I thought you liked me.
I do. Hey, if something happens to you, there could be tears. Because I'll run up to the smoking wreckage dragging you out because, no, you're not dying until you pay for this thing. But that's what friends are for. So there's the Iritani. And now the old Japanese company LS. This is the only IndyCar or race car that type I found from LS. And it says the Michener Special. Again, I know 124 scale. Again, I know nothing about it. I built a few LS kits, and except for the plastic being a little brittle, which might have something to do with it, they're all 50 years old, but they generally had a very, very tight fit. It was hard to get things together, but they looked good when they were done. And I didn't know if any of you guys ever built one of the LS race cars, if they were any good, what the detail was like, because the artwork on them that looks like very 60s Japanese artwork. It's nothing wrong with it, but are you familiar with the Indy Michener Special?
Yes, I am.
Well, tell me about it.
Yeah, it was a team, a bunch of guys, and they bought a car, and they raced it at Indy. It was nothing spectacular.
Maybe that's why LS got it. It was cheap enough they could get the rights because nobody else wanted it. But I got to be honest with you. I look at a kit like this with this old school box art, and to be honest, I'm actually kind of more interested in building something like that than a new kit, just to see what they did with it. How much detail, how does it fit, because it's, a new kit, you just expect everything to drop into place and, and be highly detailed and accurate. Old kit like this, it's more of a mystery. If anybody's ever built this kit or an LS race car, Chris, I built their aircraft. I built a couple of their Peggy bombers, and their aircraft are actually pretty good. In fact, most of the molds went on to other companies when LS got out of the business. And I did a history on LS, and I still don't know to this day what it stands for, if anything. But if their cars are anything like their airplanes, it ought to be a decent kit. It just got me curious. I'm going to look and see if I can do this without crashing the computer. Where that mold went. Let's see, it's LS Indy. Let's see. According to ScaleMates. Oh. Yeah. Okay. There's like 4 different colors to this kit. It's got one of those little traction motors in it. So it doesn't look hyper detailed. Looks like a pretty basic kit.
The toy.
The driver's yellow, the middle's white, the body is red, the tires are black. So yeah, probably not something. It was a Comet kit originally.
Oh.
I think.
I mean,
No.
really
I'm sorry. That's a different model. Yeah, it's weird. I went with full history, and it shows 3 different front engine cars from Comet. Then it shows this one. Then it shows 2 more front engine cars, which were the Comet. One was Texaco and one was UPC. But this one's a standalone. So no, it looks like they're. But I'm not surprised because it's not super impressive to look at. See, now I'm glad I didn't waste money on one. Now, we said earlier we were going to talk about MPC. And they make Gurney's Olsenite Eagle.
Yep.
I didn't find a lot of Indy or Formula One with MPC, but to be honest, I did not spend a lot of time looking because I had to get the slides together. Does MPC make a lot of cars from this genre?
Now, they kind of picked their spots. You know, at that era, that's like in the late 60s, they were doing a lot of custom cars. You know, why they did this car, don't know. You know.
Well, Gurney's always been very popular. I imagine he's a guaranteed
I mean,
good seller.
it's a nice kit. I mean, I have a couple of them in the stash. Matter of fact, I bought one when it was out in San Diego last August. I walked into a hobby store and the guy had it on the shelf, and I said, "What do you want for it?" And he said, "What do you make me an offer?" I said, $10. He said, "Take it." I was like, okay.
Well, if I'd known that, I would have bought it from you and let you make a little money on it, and that way, I kept the money in the family, so to speak, for my IndyCar. But that's okay. I got my Domino's car coming. Did you build one of these for a viewer's build?
What, the Eagle?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. It seems like somebody built one, but so
I built a Lotus. I built a McLaren. I built 2 Lotuses, Indy Lotuses, and a McLaren.
Okay, that was a Lotus I was thinking of. Yeah. Okay. This is from, I guess, the 60s?
Late 60s.
Okay. I mean, God, the thing, not trying to be metaphorical here, but the thing does look like a coffin with wheels. And,
Jim says, he thinks that it's pretty much the same parts as the Unser Eagle. And yeah, because it was pretty much the same car.
Well, Olsenite, what was Olsenite?
That was just the spot. Olsenite was a material that
they used. They made like construction, like it was a synthetic or quasi-synthetic, like a replacement for wood, I think, or something. And build it with Olsenite.
JM says 68 to 69, Max.
Yeah, I just saw that. Thank you, thank you, JM. Gary's got one. They're racing in Monaco this weekend as well. What are they now? What is Monaco? Is that Formula One?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to. Well, that's the very next thing. Now, I didn't have enough time to do individual, so I just did one big slide for all the Formula One stuff. And we're going to talk about these. The oldest one I found, the upper left, was the only Formula One kit I found from Airfix, was the BRM, whatever that is. Now, I am going to sneak off and get some cough medicine while Steve, if you would please start, the picture will come up momentarily.
A lot of cars.
Yeah. And if you can start getting into these, I'm going to be back in just a couple of minutes. So you have the con number one.
This is a good cross-section of kits here.
I was going for that. I thought you might appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Steve, got a quick question for you.
Certainly, kid.
Have they done any F1 races in Miami?
Yeah, they did one last year and the year before.
That's what I thought.
Very, very expensive.
Is that part of the series, or is that just something?
Yeah,
you did every
no,
once in a
yeah,
while?
no, it's part of the series. It was very expensive tickets to go. It's pretty much a street course that they carved out in downtown Miami. You know, it's
And
not
they
even
sell tickets
dedicated.
to get access to watch the cars go by.
Pretty much, you know, it's like Las Vegas. You know, the same thing. You know, they have the Formula One race in Las Vegas. They do it on the streets.
Oh, okay. What about the people that live along the course? I guess they get free
I
tickets.
guess they get it for free. I mean, you know, it's like in Long Beach, the same thing. If you live in one of the apartment buildings, you know, you get to see it. Well, Monaco's like that. You know, the people that live in Monaco, it goes by a lot of hotels and apartments, and you know,
The
you
Masons parade.
sit out on the balcony. Except there's no balloons in this, Deb.
He said there's no balloons in this one, Deb.
But, but this is a great selection of kits that Max has here. You know, and it goes back to when the rear engine kits first started. You know, with the Brabham and the Ferrari, and it also shows, you know, a Mercedes 163, and you know, it looks like it's got a Porsche Formula One car, and then it goes up to, you know, the Sauber and the Brabham, and you know, great kits here. The Ferrari. I mean, and that's the one thing about it is that, you know, over the years the cars have changed so much. There's a lot of subjects that you can make kits out of, and they're all really historic kits. Yeah, Miami GP is next weekend.
Oh, cool. Downtown?
Yeah,
Interesting.
you should just sail the boat down there, Ken, and watch it from the boat.
I don't think they go next to the water, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Huh.
There are people I know down there that pay a lot of money to have apartments because they know they'll overlook the race, the streets they race on. I was down there. One of the guys was bragging about that.
I figured it out. It'd take me about a day and a half to sail the boat down there.
Maybe you're better off putting it on a truck and taking it down.
By the way, the Lindbergh kit on the bottom right, that was the only Lindbergh race car like this that I found. I think Hawk made one. A lot of these companies made like one, and I'm guessing they did it as a test, and it didn't really sell that well, so they didn't proceed with it.
That's a Lindbergh kit on the bottom there?
Bottom right, Lindbergh.
Wait, that's a Porsche, right?
Porsche Formula One, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the car that Dan Gurney won the first Formula One race for Porsche in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now I'm just curious. Berg, Porsche. Apparently, Lindbergh made some other Porsche kits as well, but they're wow. The Lindbergh Porsche F1 Silver 132nd, that's a slot car.
Yeah.
Maybe the same kit. At that, the guy wants $60 for it. It looks pretty. Here we go. Whoa!
Got to be $200-300.
$259.99, $260.
Yep.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, son of a gun. Okay. Evidently quite rare.
I have a white metal kit of that.
Yeah.
I never knew they made a styrene kit of it. Didn't.
I am assuming it says 132nd scale, so I'm assuming it's the same shell and everything they use for the slot car.
Yeah. What year was it made? Like early 60s?
I believe so, yes. And here's the funny thing. Price reduced. New low off. They were asking $3.99. They didn't get any bites on it. $45 shipping. Yeah, I mean, don't you think so? Half that's probably for the insurance.
Where's
Yeah, I
it
got a
coming
question.
from?
That's what I'm looking for. Bright Dawn Emporium.
Gotta be Japan or Hong Kong.
Why am I not seeing what delivery UPS free UPS PS ground advantage? What do you mean free? You're charging $45
Charging me
shipping.
$45.
There's nothing free about that. Okay, it's supposed to say item location somewhere on here, isn't it? Or do
Yeah.
they not have to? Okay,
Hey, Steve.
Bright Dawn Emporium.
Yes, it can.
Another question. Are they allowed to put wheel pants on the tires to try and reduce drag, or is that just impractical?
No, it's impractical.
They're in Piscataway, New Jersey.
You're kidding me.
No?
They probably do laundry there too.
Mm.
Wow. Piscataway, New Jersey.
And the Lindbergh slot car, and believe me, this car ain't that impressive to look at. Here's the slot car still in the bubble wrap, the bubble sheet, on the cardboard stock, and they want $300 for that one, and it ain't nothing too impressive. So you're not buying this because you want a Lindbergh kit. You're buying this just to keep it because it's rare.
Because you want that car.
Yeah.
That's all.
And so let's look at another one. Here we have the Bandai Ferrari V8. Let's see if they've got one of those on the Wicked Electronics channel. Bandai Ferrari V8. Yeah, here's one. That's a bag kit. And there's one in the box. Bag kit's $49. The box kit's $61. And for a Bandai kit, it don't look like much. I'm guessing probably one of their earlier attempts. Not that many parts to it.
Does it come with a Gundam?
It turns into one.
All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Well, the Tamiya, we know it's a Tamiya. Strombecker makes one, which I thought was... I doubt they're going to find one of those. Strombecker Formula One race car. Actually, there is one. Wow, I didn't realize they were so big. There's a big one here for $254, and it's still in the box. And he's showing pictures of everything. No, that's Racetrack. That's a Strombecker Strombecker vintage slot car set, 124 scale. Yeah, still it looks surprisingly good condition, and the cars haven't been built. He's still got the decal sheet, so for someone, man, it's too bad John's not with us. This is right up his alley. Strombecker Lotus F1 Formula 124 slot car kit, 1964 vintage, men in box, new old stock, $220. Another one here for $150.
Yeah, but you knew it had to be at that time frame because it was a slot car, because that's when the slot car craze hit.
Yeah.
Everybody got in the slot car business, and then regretted it 2.5 years later.
Now here is another one of their, this is the thing that's actually with the big blue Sigma or Omega sign that you see on the box here, top center. Mm-hmm. 2 lot Strombecker Indy Roadster 132nd scale, number 17 copper. Okay, one's red, one's green. One's a front engine car, one's an early rear engine car. And they want $149. So they're already built. That they're slot cars, though, not just kits. But I mean, the stuff's not outrageously expensive. Racing cards. I guess the cars came with a racing card or something. I don't know. That's actually quite a bit of Strombecker stuff.
Apparently, the screen is screwed up.
I'm probably snooping around here. I have probably overdone it.
I don't know. My screen's fine. I don't know whether he's talking about the screen with where you put the cars up because we're still stuck on the old cars.
I just took it down to see if it's all working. I just it'll take it about 20 seconds to loop around where we see it. I just took down the Formula One
scratching
car.
his head.
Huh?
Now I see Ken scratching his head.
Yeah. Ken, the pictures are all working here. Maybe your Starlink is Starlunk.
No, it's not me. It's Good Guys Guns said it.
Oh, what'd he say? We can't
Said,
see
please,
that.
Matt
please
fix
ask
the
them to fix
picture.
the screen.
Well, I had a
Thanks.
picture of it.
Thank you.
So whatever he did, it worked.
All right, well, I'll put the picture back up then so we can get back to F1 cars. And what is this one? That's is that the one by Hawk?
I always thought F1 cars kind of look like fighter jets with wheels.
Kind of what they are.
That is what they are, and ground effects.
Okay, let's take another look here. Hawk models made the one. At least that's all I could find on scale mates. Okay, Hawk models race car. You know, Hawk was to me always kind of one of those interims. Yeah, they made they got the Indy race. They had those cars that they kind of invented. You know, the salt flat racers.
Mm-hmm.
And then they made one or two. They got a Ferrari here, $30. Huh. The Indy racer from Hawk, they won $123 for it. Vintage Hawk.
Some IndyCar series of kits you missed.
I'm sorry, what?
Celebrating. It's too long to say the whole name.
Yeah, vintage Hawk. Yeah, Eric. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he emailed you IndyCar series of kits you missed.
Oh, I'm sure there's quite a few. Let me open that up. Anytime I try to do this or doing a live stream, I'm always afraid I'm going to overload the computer. It's going to go full howl on me.
There's another good question for you, Steve, while he's doing that. J.M. Chalchek wants to know, why do they call them F1?
Formula One.
Formula One. Formula One was the, how should I put it? It was the, how much the car had to weigh, what the maximum displacement was, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the specifications to run in the class. That was the formula. So it was Formula One.
Okay, let's see if I can do this without blowing my computer up.
Is there an F2?
No. Well, yeah, there is an F2. Less powerful cars, a little bit different design, different specification.
Oh, it goes up all the way like a F5, doesn't it?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Here's some.
Somebody else was asking about why did they build one of those cars with 4 front wheels? Is that an attempt to cut down tire drag?
No, it was for aero.
You gotta keep them smaller.
And to get better front grip. So you had 4 tires, 4 small tires instead of 2 big, but without those big tires sticking out in front, you got a little bit less drag.
Did it work?
Yeah, it did. Did pretty well. Wasn't a world beater, but it did good.
If it was an advantage, why didn't they all go to that?
Because it wasn't that much of an advantage that was worth doing it.
Oh.
Okay, here's some pictures that Eric from Celebrating Vintage Ball Kits just sent me. These are the Aurora ones. Here are some of their. We've got the Gilmore Special 1935. I think Aurora actually might have gotten these kits from someone else. It seems like when they did some of their, I forget who it was. Could be wrong on that. But here's some Aurora ones. Let me download some of the others he sent me. Fuel injection, 1953-54 Indianapolis 500 winner.
That was a big deal back then.
I bet it was.
And it was manual fuel injection. It wasn't electronic.
Okay, well, so what does that mean?
That means it had to be calibrated all the time.
Oh, that's fun to do when you're doing 150 around the track.
Well, you'd calibrate it for whatever the conditions would be when you started the race, but that doesn't mean that's what it was during the, race and towards the end of the race. That's why you never had fuel injection in a lot of cars, because with the climate change, I mean, I don't know what it's like. Well, you know what it's like in Florida. I mean, here the temperature can swing 50 degrees in one day in the humidity. So that affects.
We call that Tuesday.
Right. So until they got it down electronically, it really wasn't that popular. And then once they figured it out, then everybody had it.
Yeah, fuel mixture.
Hmm?
Same thing in an airplane. You gain altitude, you got to change your mixture.
Got to thin it. Keep the mix right. Okay, I'm adding some more pictures to this, so hopefully you guys will be seeing more of them rotate through here. These are all coming from Eric over at Celebrating Vintage Model Kits.
That Indianapolis kit, well, never mind, it switched.
Oh, God, these are some old, man, these guys are going 100 miles plus or an hour around a track in these things that have 3-inch wide tires.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize they didn't know any better, but geez, guys.
Well, I mean, that was the technology at the time.
There were a lot of human beings spread like strawberry jam all over the side of the track because of the things they didn't know. You watch the old foot.
He believes only allowed to enter a single non-points race.
Not true. It ran 2 seasons.
What? Which one?
The 6-wheel car.
Ah. So let's see here. Free easy assemble. A lot of these kits only have a dozen parts to them. They're not particularly high fidelity, but
well, that means it's easy to assemble.
Yeah, but I mean, for kits that came out in the 30s or 40s or 50s, I mean, it's 1940 Maserati. There's the Aurora Maserati, 1940 Maserati. Hey, the Italians may be famous for making cars that are difficult to keep running, like the British, but God, they make some of them that look good and go like scared cats.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say if I said, hey, I buy any Italian sports car you want? What would you go for?
Lamborghini Miura.
I second that.
Yeah, if I could fit in one, I'd third it.
Max, if you got a car like that, you would make yourself fit.
It is one of the most beautiful cars ever made.
Oh, yes.
But these guys had cojones, man, to go sailing around the track at 100 plus miles an hour like that, and these things. And I'm sure they didn't delude themselves. I watched some footage of Tazio Nuvolari, driving. And there's actually a fair amount of film footage of him in the races. He originally started off on motorcycles. But you watch him, when he is driving that car, he is not in completely zen with what he's doing. But you'll notice his hands and feet, they're never stationary. He's always making these micro adjustments. And apparently, maybe from his days on the motorcycle, they said he had a real feel. I read the book on him, but, a lifetime of breathing benzene and smoking unfiltered cigarettes caught up with him.
That'd do it.
Well, I imagine it got most. I mean, what average age of a man was 54 back then. I mean, it was a good 20, 30 years younger than it is today because, they ate bacon 4 times a day, smoked unfiltered cigarettes, drank whiskey by the water glass, and drove these things at 100 miles an hour. That's why nobody knew anything about dementia. No one lived long enough to get it. There was a courage and a foolishness. So, the W163 Mercedes-Benz, is that a hot kit? Yeah, I think that's a hot kit. That's what I was looking for. Let me go back to Evil Bay and see if I can find one of those. I'm just curious what people try to get for it. Let's see. What it said is, what did I say, W163?
Yes.
Toys and hobbies. Oh, there it is. Vintage Hawk W163 Mercedes. It's already been built, did a nice job. 69. Okay, here's an unbuilt kit. $50. I mean, again, that's actually not. And hold on. Oh, it's already been started. Still, it looks complete though, but it's about 70% done, not painted. But he's got the box and it's in good condition. Still, I mean, $50 for a rare kit. Probably a pretty rare kit. Okay. Here is that same kit. This is the Hawk kit on the bottom right. The one with the profile view of the Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
Here is one that looks pretty virgin. The tires have been put together. Some of the parts look like they're still on the runner trees. Got the instruction sheet. Now it's had the tires done. I think that's about all, but a lot of parts have been taken off. $171. He was asking $220. Same guy, I think, with, no, this is Chrissy Country Collectibles. So I'm guessing if that price is not foolishness, then one that's actually, well, I don't think they selloed kits back then, but one that's been untouched probably run $200 to $250. So not, I mean, I'm not paying that for it, but there's definitely, and here's you've got to be kidding me. Revival Mercedes-Benz. It's the same kit popped years later, $160.
Now Revivals.
Oh no, that's not Hawk. That's a 120 scale metal kit.
Yeah, that's a metal kit. That's not a styrene kit.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea what Revival sells for. What I'm guessing at 120 scale. It looks pretty in depth. I'm looking at yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that costing that. That is actually. It's not that complicated. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's all bags, a bunch of bags of little parts. Yeah, that could get out of hand.
Yeah, especially when you run out of screws.
Hey Steve, did you see what Kevin was asking about 120 or 124 scale of an aero kart?
No, I don't. Never seen one. Really haven't. What are the Glue Troopers' favorite driving songs?
All right, guys, answer up. What are your favorite driving songs?
Which makes you a menace on the roads?
With me, it might be Radar Love. Boom, boom, boom,
I was
boom,
born a
boom,
rambling
boom,
man.
boom, 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 boom.
Fun, fun, fun.
Hey, wait a minute. What do we got here? Whoa. Holy crap. We may have stumbled onto something here.
How about Hot Rod Lincoln?
Oh, you know it, Commander Cody. Steve, here is the vintage Hawk W163 Mercedes-Benz. He's got the parts spread out. Most of them are still on the tree. He's got them put in plastic bags. He's got the instruction sheet, an unusable but original decal sheet, what appears to be a base for the thing to display it on. $30 Canadian.
So that's $12 US.
I think this is shipping $47 Canadian.
There you go.
Approximately $34. Still, you're talking about essentially an untouched vintage kit for $50, including the shipping. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
It says Hawk half-inch scale.
Have what?
Half-inch. That'd be 124 scale.
1/4 scale. Yeah, Hey Little Cobra, like that.
Got two for can't drive 55.
Okay, guys, we're back on camera. I brought down I think we covered the race cars pretty good. I hope you guys got something picked out for your build. We got about 35 minutes left. At this point, I am going to say that the Mini Beach Boys songs, I'm going to say that we've done our due diligence in covering Formula One models and Indy cars. So now we can open it up to talking about whatever you guys feel like talking about. So Ken, what's up with the boat? Because I know you're just dying to say.
Highway to Hell. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There you go. That's a good one. Yeah, we're spending the night on the boat. I got several projects I need to work on. It turns out the main air conditioning went out again.
What?
After I spent all that time cleaning out the cooling system because I got an overheat error. The overheat error is back. So I guess I gotta have to call the manufacturer and find out what the heck is going on. It's got pressure gauges on the compressor, and the high pressure is going up over 700. So I gotta figure out why it's doing that.
First, they get in there and make sure nothing got in there and clogged it again.
Well, when it runs, which was running great when I left it last week, there's plenty of water coming out, and there always was. It wasn't, water flow was fine. It's just, apparently there's something going on with the unit itself. I thought I fixed it by flushing all the gunk out, but oh well.
That hurts. I hate it when you think you got something fixed, you know. Reminds me of Stanley's Cherokee 6 always burning a quart of oil an hour.
No, I do not have a harpoon gun. Don't really need one. Thank you. Air conditioned boat. What sort of prissy craft is it? I am trying to make my wife happy. She is
Prissy craft. Prissy craft. That's like Chris Craft for wimps. Prissy craft. Hey, Eric lives in California, man. It's always nice weather out there. It's always sunny in California.
I thought that was Philadelphia.
That was the parody joke.
Oh,
It's always sunny in California.
Okay, Ken, boat, bust out another 1,000. Yeah, I call them boat units.
So let's talk vacuum form kits for a second.
Wait a minute.
You have more boat news.
We're doing boat stuff here. Okay, Wild Dad asked, what has water got to do with air conditioning? The air conditioners are water cooled on a boat. They are not air cooled.
There's the problem, Ken. You're using a Florida water. Everything's hot down here. Maybe. Are you sure you blew the whole system? Are you sure you got the whole system blown out and there isn't something impeding it somewhere else that you didn't check, or have you been through the whole system?
Oh yes. Okay. I absolutely made sure the whole. I'm getting lots of water flow.
Well, Ken, I'm going to put a picture up here I made just for you. That was going to be used in the old intro before John had to bail on us. I spent like 2 hours putting together this big intro with all four of us, and then John couldn't make it. So I threw to kludge together that intro you saw, which is looping. But I made a picture just for you that I'm going to put up here, just to show everybody.
I feel so special.
Yeah,
actually, I like you, Ken. You're special.
Actually, I made pictures for all of you, all of us.
I'm actually Max's special friend.
Okay, I really don't like where this is going.
Hey, did you see they're making a movie called Acme? And it's
Coyote versus Acme. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. KLS&C says you probably have a manatee stuck in the AC.
It could be. You just never know. So, Ken, this was the, you'll see in about 20 seconds, but this is the backdrop I made just for you.
Okay.
When it comes up.
Can't wait for this one.
No, you'll like it. You're going to like it.
Trey got it. Special. There you go. Look at that.
What? I don't see anything.
Oh, you don't have it up yet?
Your new call sign is Special K.
Yeah.
Special K?
Oh, dude, if we were military aviators, that would be your call sign.
Special K.
Hey, beats the heck out of Ken.
My buddies from the from the speed shop and the race team from when we went racing, who I'm still friends with them all today. My nickname is the Toy Man.
The Toy Man.
That's my.
I'm gonna start calling you that, Toy Man.
That's my Top Gun name. It's Toy Man.
Okay, we need to come up with a Top Gun name for Max then.
I've already got one.
Wow.
What?
Moose.
Ramden.
Moose. Oh, I like that. Cramden. Yeah, I like
the
that.
Bus driver.
Ralph Cramden.
Cramden. Seriously?
Cramden, Toy Man, and Special K.
Special K.
Hold on, I gotta write this down because I'm gonna forget this. Hold
Aren't
on.
we glad we can amuse ourselves?
I'm getting my one working piece of paper and one working pen. So we got Cramden.
Oh, I got an idea. Okay, let's ask the Glue Troopers. What would be a good Top Gun name for Max? Come on, guys. This ought to be good.
Godzilla.
I'll take it.
Special K. So Ken is named after a breakfast. No,
Yes, because he's so skinny. Hey,
No.
Steve, you want to see the picture I made for you? Well, you're going
let's see
to.
this. This ought to be good.
that came from Max's wife, actually.
Special Kenny? Yeah.
That's why I came up with that. I got dibs on Smoke Wagon.
I like that. That is awesome. All right, Steve, I'm posting yours now.
I'm waiting.
Jan, we already got Cramden. We got to come up with something else. Dr. Strangeloaf? Okay.
No, not Dr. Weird Love.
Well, isn't that special?
Wait a minute. I see this little. There. Oh, I like that.
Oh, nose weight. I love it.
Nose weight.
Nose weight.
Oh, I like that one. That's cool.
That was perfect.
Thanks, Bill. Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that. Put in parentheses here, nose weight.
Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, that's an old one.
Kangaroo.
That's like the low hanging fruit, though. You know, Glue Man.
I like that.
The Styrene Kaju.
Oh, by the way,
Tail dragger.
Tail Dragger.
Yeah, that works on several levels. I did learn in the Tail Dragger.
That one's good. Captain Kaiju. Plastic Man.
Now, Steve, you'll notice I have you holding your Chrysler Turbine car.
I do. I like that. It's very nice. I like that.
I try to be respectful. The
That
one
was
I made,
very nice.
the one I made for me was just a because we were doing cars,
Max.
huh? What?
Max.
Captain Kaju, person. The blonde Max.
Accidentally
Oh, you know, as a kid, one of my dad's friends used to call me the Red Max. You know, the Red Baron, the Red Max, the Blue Max, and it just, this I only did because it's we were doing race cars today. Normally I'd have an airplane behind me.
Oh, there you go. Max Q. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Mustang Maxi.
There you
Mustang.
go.
Put
This
that
is
to
good.
Mustang Sally.
Oh, there we go.
Mustang
there he is,
Max
with the
it.
Domino's pizza behind him.
Yeah, because I worked at Domino's for so long. And John, of course, as we know, couldn't make it, unfortunately. But just out of fair play, I'll throw up the one I did for him, which I put someplace else.
I saw it. I saw it.
Buffon. Oh, a Buffon. Heck yeah, man.
Wait, here we
Beautiful
go.
Buffon.
Fingers conky.
That's too easy.
Max Stang.
That was
Max
good.
Stang, I like that. I do like that.
Maxwell House.
Oh, I had all those growing up.
Maxi Pad.
Oh, I got a Max Factor, Max Pad. I did this one for John, but like I say, he couldn't make it, so we didn't use it. But I thought I'd
Those are
throw it
not
up
good
there.
connotations.
Oh, these are good guys.
I'm gonna have to make cartoons of these. No, I used to get Maxi Pad, Max Factor, and Max Packs all the time. Red Max. Guys, you got to remember I've had this name a long time.
Yeah, all your life.
Nah, maybe not.
Although I do kind of like Nose Weight. I think that one's pretty darn good.
I'll put a check here by nose weight.
Obviously, Ken is very entertained. Yes.
He is very entertained.
Not like Max was last week.
Yeah. Oh God, that was hilarious. I still cry when I think of it. Okay.
What did she say that got you to laugh like that?
She was like, Kim was like, are they here? I was here first.
Oh. I was like, what did I miss? I mean, he's hilarious. What's going on?
Oh
here?
God, I was crying. That was so funny. I'm going to show you why they came up with Boo font, though.
Oh, here we go.
I got to find it, but I have a lot of photos to
That
dig
one's
through.
good. Okay.
Wheel Chalk, Max Sprugu, Jax Max. Oh, hey, Jax Max, pretty cool. I like
Through to the
that.
Max.
K-Car.
K-Car for Ken. The FAA couldn't ground me, but my wife could.
Meanwhile, you know what? You should change the name of the boat, Ken.
So what?
Yachts of Luck.
Yahtzee. Yahtzee. Okay, guys.
Plasticus Maximus. I like that.
Plastic. This is why he was calling me Bouffant. God, I love that photograph. That is the most 70s photograph I have. You guys will see in a second. And yes, that is both my real hair color and my real hair. I definitely got my mom's hair. In fact, I got a lot of my mom's features. Dad's nose.
I'm surprised you didn't get chased down by guys at school and shaved.
What makes you think I didn't? Dude, how do you think I learned? Why do you think I learned Taekwondo? Why do you think I pack a Roscoe everywhere I go? Trust me, no one had to.
Pompadour.
I love that.
Sir du Pompano. Pompadour.
Maxilla, God, I love these. Call sign Gluteus.
Ralph Mouth, Happy Days.
Yeah. Tell me that is, I mean, look, I even got them big fat girly lips on me. I mean, Christ, if I'd gone to jail, oh, Jesus. One thing's for sure, if I ever went to prison, I'd have a pocket full of smokes.
Looks like you're wearing a Brillo.
There's the call sign, Brillo pad.
Shaggy Buds is going, oh my, OMG.
Looking sleek as an otter. Hold on, guys. You keep talking. I have got to top this thing off. This kind of humor and comedy requires additional fuel. Come on, talk. Keep them entertained.
You guys are just knocking it out of the pot. Is that Tester's red tube in your hair?
Dirk Diggler's buddy.
Oh, God. You never saw this movie?
Maximum Destruction. Bet you haven't heard that one before.
These are great. You guys have really outdone yourselves with these.
Oh yeah, more Romeo and Ale
for Max.
How about some blood wine, Max? Can't hear you. You're muted.
He's pouring too loudly.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
My wife.
Oh.
No, I had to run out and top off with the comedy fuel.
Iced tea.
I had to get more cough medicine. My wife has a perfect alarm system. We have this wonderful little bar in the kitchen where we keep everything, but every time you touch it, it rattles.
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead. You tell him.
Which one?
Does that hair come with a coon tail?
Yeah, that one. That one's good.
That's good. No, Gluteus Maximus actually I've had quite a few times. You went to the Army looking like that? Yes, but through 2 days. Oh, hold on. Okay, yes, I did go in the Army looking like that. Let me see if I can find a military photo with my crew cut so you can see what I look like when, let's see. You guys keep talking. I got to find a photo.
Okay.
Well, say something. Keep the people.
Please.
I think I see. I think we see our first
Reverse mullet.
Okay. Yes, I went in the Army looking like that, but a few days later I looked like this, and so we'll. It's going to take a little while for you guys to see it, but trust me, the barber in the Army, I walked in like that. I mean, he just licked his chops.
There you go.
Rubbed his hands as a sit down.
What's this with the blue nose?
It's a sailboat.
Yes, it is.
That's why I put it. Ken, there aren't that many model sailboats. It was that or a fully rigged ship. I figured you prefer a award-winning sailboat.
Okay, you can always.
Meanwhile,
that's Ken's nickname, Popeye.
There you
Oh,
know,
please.
you know what he looks like in that picture with his uniform, Ken?
What?
Larry Mondello from Leave It to Beaver.
There you go. There you go.
But anyway, yes, that's the before and after photos. Well, after and before, and
Oh, I look so young there.
yeah, I went. Ken, when both those photos were taken, I was 17.
No, I'm talking about my blue nose picture. I look so young in that thing.
Oh, you want to see the? Oh, okay, all right.
You
Hold
shouldn't
on.
have done that, Ken. Couldn't have done that.
Okay. The way I make these things, obviously I'm using AI. What I do is I go to Google AI, I take the pictures of you guys, I use Paint to drop the background, right? So I just have you in it. Then I take it to Google AI and I say, make a cartoon of this picture. Now I can add things like, with your car, that's the photo where you were holding the picture of Ice-T when we were at that barbecue
Right.
place in Maryland.
The barbecue
And I said,
place.
replace the picture of T with a model Chrysler Turbine car. And it did.
Wow.
Sometimes Google, the AI does a really nice job. Sometimes it totally screws it up. Like I said, make a picture of me building a model, and it gave me like 3 hands on the right side. One was holding the model, one was painting the model. And I was like,
That's it. That's about right.
and I was like, what's that Indian god that has all the arms? Krishna. But anyway, so I got a picture of you. It was taken from the restaurant when we were in that 50s restaurant, the
Yeah.
Starlight Diner. It's the one I used for the other picture. I'm going to show you, if I didn't delete it, I'm going to show you the picture that originally made because you hadn't shaved in a day or two. And let us just say that the AI got a little carried away. It detected facial hair and went, oh, okay, I can do that. Let's see, that's not that one. Ah, here it is. Oh, good, I got it. I didn't think I'd delete that. This is what it did with that photo. I mean, you're like Charlton Heston in Planet of the Apes. Oh, that's right. I forgot. You guys got about 20 seconds before you're going to see it.
All right, my son was down a couple of weeks ago with his wife, and my wife had been cleaning out. No, there you go. Looks like you just came in off the beach from a surfing. Ken, do you see it? Can't hear.
He's
Ken.
getting it slower than we are.
Can't hear him.
Ken?
Talking.
Ken. Earth to Ken.
He's talking, but we can't hear him.
He might have muted his microphone or maybe his Starlink cut out. And Christ, he looks homeless in that picture. Danger Ken, watch.
Watch out.
Oh, Danger Ken. There we go. Watch out.
Hey, kid, want some
Oh, God.
candy?
We're not going there. Okay,
Yeah.
Ken, you froze. No, he's moved. Ken, can you hear it? Talk, Ken, talk. Nope, you're muted.
No, I'm not. No, I'm
Now
not.
you're not.
Now it's a delay.
We couldn't hear you.
That's Ken the homeless.
My Debbie just said, "Oh yeah, that's what he usually looks like."
Ken Scruff.
Scruffy.
I was just saying Ken Scruff.
Scruffy,
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
Well, I'll tell you what. Since we're just having some fun here, I'll show you some. Since John couldn't make it because of something popped up, but for those who don't know, John Kitt, who was supposed to be with us tonight, is a big car guy. I wanted to see him and Steve go at loggerheads. So we're going to do that in the future at some point because both of them have an encyclopedic knowledge of cars. But you've been to Scale Car Garage, right, Steve? You're familiar with his channel?
Yes.
Yeah, he does slot cars. In fact, he actually does a lot of resin work. We'll probably talk to him about that too. And so since he did that, I made these slides. And trust me, some work went into this. But I'll give you an example. I'm going to show you guys a couple of the slides that I put together that we didn't get to use. We'll use them again. Oh, trust me, these are not going to waste. Let's see. I need D. No, I need. What do I need? I need Max's models, Clue Troopers. I have all the stuff up. John, there it is. Okay. Okay, here is one picture that you guys are just going to frickin' love. And I'm sorry that, you know what, here, I'll slide this down. Ken, you're covered, so you can,
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
is that not awesome?
Yeah, that's nice.
You see it, Ken? What I love is that Ken and John were both smiling in the photographs I used of them. So the computer just took that and ran with it. Believe it or not, Steve, the original photo for you was from the same one holding the picture. And the one for me was one that I found. And I was like, why am I doing it? I mean, I love it. It's perfect. But what? It's like the computer knows me. And, but there's more.
I like Steve's eyes.
And the let's see, where's the other one? Let's see.
Don't touch the screen.
What do you have in your hand?
This is slot car stuff.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see. What?
Meanwhile,
Uh-huh.
you know, you talk about these different pictures and you have from way back when.
Uh-huh.
So my son and his wife were down a couple weeks ago. My wife had been cleaning out some old stuff, and she came across this picture from 1975 of her and I in her mother's house having dinner. And she said to my son, look at this picture. And he looks at the picture, and he doesn't say anything, and he goes, wow, you guys were young once. And I was like, just get out. It's like, if you made us old, get out.
It's not a myth. You actually were young once.
That's right.
I'm as guilty as anybody else when I was young of forgetting that older people were young once. And now that I'm getting older, I'm kind of like, yep, now I kind of get it. I'm just putting this picture up. This is one of, I put that stuff on there to cover up where my other hand was at. It's like, how many hands do you think I have? Okay, let's see. Where did I put all those other pictures? Oh, great. Okay, another one's inbound. I extended
It can't be yours because the workbench is too neat.
Yeah. I extended this one, which is why it looks like a painting by Dolly. I extended it because it was wide and thin. I had to, add some space to it. But
Oh, I like this.
where are these? Come on, where did I put the other pictures? Jeez, I know I didn't delete it. God, I hope I didn't delete them. Because and friggin' computer, it made some cool stuff. All right, let's look here. Oh, well, let's look here.
Oh, meanwhile, I just got a news flash over my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Trump evacuated from White House Correspondents' Dinner after gunshots fired.
Ah, God. Somebody make a third attempt on the guy? Jeez, people, give it a break. He's bulletproof. Just deal with it. Let's see. Oh, man, I hope...
Ken has gone more gray than in the previous picture.
Oh, here we go. Here's where I put him. Here's another one for you. They really, the fact that it uses your photographs, I think it kind of catches the essence of you guys. Because Ken and John are both extremely upbeat, happy kind of people. So, you know, it's got them smiling real big. And Steve's got that slightly sinister eyebrow thing going, which, yeah, definitely. It's got me growling and grimacing. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm starting to worry about how well these computers really do know us. Yeah, let's see.
Whose car is that hitting the wall?
It doesn't matter. It was the computer just. I told it, man, make one of the cars flying off the track and hitting the wall.
Well, Dad says you could start your own comic book series now.
Yeah, you could actually. And here is one of us fixing all the cars afterwards.
That would be a long one.
And of course, I'm grimacing as always.
The green and yellow car are going the wrong direction.
Who cares? That's exactly the kind of thing I would do, Ken. It's part of my plan. It's a feature, not a bug. If you're a programmer, you should know how to turn a screw up into a positive.
I do that all the time.
It's kind of how you make your living.
Yeah, and what's Joe's Day?
Who cares?
It's on your shirt.
It's something the computer just interpolated.
Okay.
I think this one is my favorite. I think this one actually catches all of us pretty well.
Yeah, it does. Look at that. Look at this. Look.
Now this next one, it'll pop up here in a little bit. I mean, that's a good. They're all good. I was really happy with them.
Apart, laugh. Why are you laughing?
Because I got a bunch of wire in my hand.
Because Ken is a happy guy who just makes the best of everything.
Steve looks so serious.
Oh, that's that. Tell me that is not
win.
Steve.
I want to win.
He wants to win. Steve's concentrating on winning. John and Ken are just having a good time playing, and I'm getting mad at everything. That's the way it works. Tell me that is not you know, it worries me that the computer is that much in-depth knowledge of us all.
You know, we needed Ian supplying new stuff.
Oh my God. I could do that. I've got some pictures of him.
You know, there's 8 cars on the track, and there's only 4 of us racing, right?
DCC,
Okay,
baby.
We have 2 hands each, Ken.
Yeah, everybody's got 2 controllers, and
Come on.
it's DCC, Ken. We can run 2 on one track.
I only got 1 controller. I'm the only one with 1 controller.
No, Ken, you have 1 controller, but you're with multiple switches.
Okay. Right.
Ken, John and Steve are going old school. They're each doing it manually. You're doing it with, you know.
You're right.
By the way, the one I'm holding isn't a car controller. It's a detonator for the explosives under the bridge.
Well, when I let go of the pause button, yes.
Kenny, how come your car is full of wires? Because it can be. Kenny's a Cylon. Didn't you know that?
Oh, Ken controls the car with his mind.
He's laughing so hard he peed himself and dropped his other controller.
Max just found out he's 10 laps behind an 11 lap race.
Well, we're officially off the rails tonight. No kidding, Slugo. But
Or off the track.
I've been having a lot of fun with the AI stuff, but I have to admit I'm as guilty as anybody of. Now, a lot of the music that I come up with, I get off of Suno, which is an AI platform, but I do write the lyrics and stuff sometimes. We quit the paid subscription, so now I kind of get what it gives me, but you still have to give it instructions, and you craft things, and then it builds from that, and if you don't like it, you redo it. So there's an iterative process, but
Right.
I started last night making the slides for this. It actually takes a lot of time to put this. Well, I say a lot of time, not like if you had to sit down and draw it, and you lose a lot of creative control. But what this AI is doing, and the same with 3D printing where modeling is concerned, it is putting so much more control in the hands of the user. Steve, you and I have often debated whether or not 3D printing is going to be part of modeling or take over modeling in the future. And Ken, you've said you'll just download a file and print the model. We're not there yet, but I can see that over the horizon. A good resin 3D printer, proper files, yes, I could see that replacing a lot of styrene. I could see companies like Tamiya and others becoming as much research institutions that, you know, craft all the files and sell the file to you. I'm going to spitball 20 years before that's really the case. The idea of good old-fashioned injected molding styrene probably won't go completely away, but I do see it diminishing over time.
It'll become a cottage industry.
A lot like resin is. I mean, there's a lot of kits. If you want them, you got to go to a garage guy. That GMC articulated van we were talking about.
What'll happen is the molds that are already made, they'll be preserved. They'll still be around. Somebody will have them, and it'll go from making 20,000 kits to 500 kits.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be.
But also making the molds has gotten easier with CNC machines and computer. You know,
well, look, right now you can turn around, and if you have an old kit, you lay out all the parts. You can 3D scan them, and they'll CNC build a mold from that. And you can bring back old kits that the molds are destroyed.
yes.
So as the technology gets better, I mean, there's no reason for them to stop doing it, but it's a question of how much money do they want to pour in it and how much are they going to get back out of it. Because the problem is, all of us who are on the channel, and those of us that we're friends with and that we go to shows and see, we're all pretty much a dying breed.
Oh yeah. But that's the normal evolution of things.
Right, but I'm saying, you know, that the younger generations coming up behind us, there's very few of them that are involved in the hobby or will be involved in the hobby. So
thank God for people like Gavin and others, you know, Scale Model
Right.
Apprentice and others, you know, the keeping it
so
alive.
you're going to go to a smaller audience, and I also think that collecting the unbuilt kits are going to continue at a very high level.
Oh yeah.
Because people are just going to buy them and not build them and hold on to them, and the prices are going to keep going up and up and up and up and up. And that's okay.
No.
And I think that 3D scanning and 3D printing is going to be the future of the hobby.
Did you ever watch Star Trek Next Generation?
Now,
One of my favorite episodes is called The Most Toys. And it's about this very wealthy individual played by an actor, I forget his name, but we've all seen him in 100 things. And he's a collector of old stuff. And he wants to get data as part of his collection because he's the only robot of his type, android of his type. Anyway, he's showing him his collection, like his Verteron disruptor. You know, anyway, you know, they're outlawed in all sectors because they destroy the target from the inside out. Only 17 were made. I have one. I keep it under my pillow and I sleep very well. But anyway, he shows him a Roger Maris baseball card that he has under glass. He goes, a Roger Maris, you know, like 1953 baseball card. He opens the glass. He goes, the scent, bubble gum. I preserved it. You know, so there will always be some of that. By the way, I got to ask a question here for you guys to comment on. Slugo says that, was it Slugo? I had it here a second ago. He says, Max is the Phil Spector of modeling music.
there you go.
I'm not sure what that means. All I remember about Phil Spector is that he got charged with shooting somebody. Did he get
He
convicted?
created the wall of sound.
Did he get convicted?
Oh yeah, he's still in prison.
Yeah,
No,
not
I think
liking
he
where
died.
that's going.
I think he died in prison.
Yeah, I think he killed a girl, did he? Said she came after him with a knife or something. The cops didn't buy it.
He picked her up. She was an actress, and she was having a rough spot. She worked at the Hard Rock on Sunset Boulevard.
Hold on. Okay, just before you go any further, actress, bad career, working at the Hard Rock, not painting a good picture here. Continue.
He took her home to his little mansion, and he killed her.
That's like an episode of
Yes.
anything, any cop show.
Yeah.
Columbo, yeah. Okay. Well, first off, if I pick up an actress and bring her home, I'll be the one that's dead. And it'll be my wife holding the smoking gun. Well, actually, she's from Venezuela. It'll be a knife.
Hey, you should just be thankful she's not a football reporter.
Elaborate. I know what you're talking about, but I forgot the story.
The story with the reporter on the NFL from the Atlantic, who used to be on ESPN, who got caught with the coach of the Patriots. And it blew up into a huge thing because they did not handle it right. So now it's just ridiculous.
For my life experience, I would like to proffer a piece of sage advice, which unfortunately most of the people watching this are probably my age or better. But for those of you who are under 50, let me offer you a piece of sage advice. When you screw up with something like that, there is one thing you can always salvage out of it, and that is your dignity / reputation / the cover-up is always worse than the crime. If you get caught, just go, yeah, I did it. I did it because I wanted to, and I challenge you to do better. And that leaves them kind of like, okay. But the minute you start trying to, if I may wax philosophical for a moment, or as you're supposed to say it, philosophical. The truth is a perfect thing. It's one of the few things in the universe that is absolutely perfect. The truth is the truth. You can deny it, you can hide it, you can cover it up, but it's always perfectly the truth, this precious pearl. And the truth wants to be discovered. It wants to be outed.
As I'm watching you do this and work your hands the way you were doing.
Yeah, Mr. Bond, that was very foolish, Mr. Bond.
No. I keep thinking I'm watching Mr. Jensen from Network give his speech.
And you will atone!
Deal.
I just watched that the other day. You have messed with the forces of the universe.
He did that in one take.
That was Ned Beatty's best work, and he did Homicide: Life on the Street and Deliverance. Squeal like a pig, Ned.
But why are you picking me? Because you're on television, dummy.
There is more truth in that. But anyway, I have made two really big mistakes in my life. Now, I say this not knowing what alternative, I can't soothsay. If I had not made these mistakes, I don't know where I'd be. I'd been on a different trajectory. One was making that extra parachute jump where I broke my legs. The other one was when I was a cop and something happened, I should have just said, yep, I did it, I said it, fire me, give me 30 days off. But by trying to hem and haw and not be completely candid, it just blew up my face. I should have learned, and I knew the lessons of Nixon, I just didn't learn them. Nixon would have survived, for those of us who are old enough to remember Watergate, he would have survived if he'd just thrown the guys to the wolves and said, because he did not know anything about what they were doing. He could have sanitized, but no, he was, I hate to say this, but he wasn't paranoid because they were out to get him. But he was, I can't trust anybody, and it got him because up until that point, if he'd thrown them to the wolves, yeah, his administration would have taken a black eye, but that would have been it. But when he actively engaged in a cover-up, like I tell people, Nixon didn't know anything about Watergate. But once he learned about it, trying to cover it up, that was, the cover-up is always worse, unless it's murder or something, it's always worse than the crime. And so if you make a big mistake like that, just own it. Now.
Well, you know what they say.
What?
Are you going to believe me or your lying eye?
Yeah. And, but the point I'm driving at. How do we even get on this? What led us to this?
We don't need to be on this.
Anyway, so
Tangent on tangent.
yeah, man, it took me till after 9 o'clock to hit a tangent. That's got to be a record. We're in. By the way, guys, this is officially the after show. In case you hadn't picked up on that, that's why I said the live stream is over. So we're in the after show. We can cover anything. So,
You know, the after show used to be after 8 o'clock.
Slugo said it. John 8:32. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free, unless you're actually guilty, in which case it will result in incarceration. But still,
30 to life.
But I love what one downed F-105 pilot said. He got shot down over Vietnam. He ejected. The North Vietnamese got him, and he goes, "You can't give anything away immediately. They gotta think they broke you. So you give them the whole name rank and serial number for a while till the beatings begin. Then finally just go, okay, I've had enough, and then you start answering. They think they broke you, and you give them a bunch of useless information, most of which they already know. Their intelligence is actually quite good." But he said that's when I really started BSing him. Now, he got shot down in like 69 or 68. And he goes, "Well, actually, I'm an old guy." And he was older than most fighter pilots. And he goes, and they're so desperate for pilots, they just threw me in the cockpit. I really didn't know what I was doing, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the Vietnamese loved that. He said, the irony was, by 3 years later, that was actually the situation. They were grabbing guys out of tankers and freighters and sticking them in fighters. And they're like, "What do you mean there's only one throttle? Only got one engine?" Yeah. And, anyway, so the only time I think it's okay to lie is, one, when you're a POW, or two, dude, you really are guilty and got nothing to lose. Yeah. Not saying it's okay to lie, but you got nothing to lose at that point. Brian, Monica hasn't put the pizza in the oven yet, hence the after hours. Okay, you're half right on that, Brian, but let me tell you what, when I went to get my cough medicine, damn, I'm out again? Anyway, she's got that magnificent yellow rice that she makes with all the little onions and everything. My wife is a fantastic cook. For those who don't know, my wife is Venezuelan, and she is an amazing cook. And I gotta admit, Ken, I went into full frickin' mummy mode when I went in the kitchen. It was like, Imhotep. I would have probably scooped some out, but the bedroom's right there, the door is open, she'd have seen me. And she might let me pour a second one, a bit of cough medicine, but if she hears the top of that rice maker open, "What are you doing?" Woman's got freaking radar.
She is a good cook.
Good night, Herman, man. Thanks for coming out. Guys, if you got, we're down to 89 viewers. I know a lot of you guys have things to do. If you want to bug out, I'm not going to be offended. We're just yammering at this point.
Did you ever watch Taylor Tomlinson on Netflix?
I have seen her. She's good. I'm not terribly thrilled. I like Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias.
Yes.
Bill Burr. Although Bill Burr's not so much funny as he is actually, commenting on the real world. And I watched the Trigonometry episode they just shot with Rob Schneider. Poor guy. Classic 90s liberal. Today they're calling him a fascist. Can you believe that crap? Okay, sorry, we don't do politics here. I'm sorry.
Well, she did this little routine that says that, the guy I was living with for a while, we, had a good thing going. And she hadn't heard from him for a couple of days. And so I jingled him up and I said, "Hey, babe, what's going on? Well, I haven't heard from you in a couple of days." He goes, "There's something could happen to me. You didn't check it out with me?" He goes, "Well, I thought you were mad at me." She says, "Guys would rather we were dead." Mad at them. I was like,
yeah. On the rare occasion that my significant other is displeased with me, I would sell both of you down the river in a heartbeat and let the North Koreans steal your kidneys to make it okay. I just want you to know that. Just want to get it out there. Night, friend. Take care, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Well, Ken, now we know.
So you might want to wear football guards over your kidneys when
Wear
my wife's
pads,
mad
too.
at me, you know. Just saying.
Pants.
Okay, I heard a joke the other. Actually, I read it the other day. No, it's not in
Just
the video.
drinking
That's
water.
right. It's not in the video. It's pretty good. It's about women. There's a, you know, they opened a
Be
new
careful,
store.
Ken. The boat is small.
Oh, she's already seen
Oh,
it.
okay.
She laughed at it. She thought it was kind of funny because it's the truth. Okay, so they opened a new store in New York where you can go, where women can go and buy husbands. Okay.
Where was this place when I... Never mind. I ain't going to say that. I'll get in trouble.
Okay, so this store has 6 floors. Okay, and on each
Ken, I think you refer to them as the 6 circles of hell, but go ahead.
yeah, well, it gets better. Okay, so when the woman goes in there, the rules are you can go up floors, but you cannot go back down. Okay, and
Starting to sound like the Hotel California.
yeah, kind of like that. And anyway, so and you can pick a husband from any floor that you want. Okay, so woman goes into the store. On the first floor, there's a sign up there that says, "These men have jobs."
Good start.
And she thought, well, okay, all right, I think I can do better than this. So I'm going to go to the second floor. Okay, these men have jobs and like kids. Okay, all right, that's not bad. That's not bad.
You do not want to know what I'm processing in my head right now, but continue.
Okay, well, just keep it quiet until I'm done. Okay.
The first floor, they just had jobs.
I said that already.
Okay.
My wife is trying to correct me. Anyway,
No.
Just
See, that never happens, does it?
Go to the 3rd floor, Ken. Just go to the 3rd floor.
she says she's helping. Anyway, so the 3rd floor, there's a sign that says, "These men have jobs, like kids, and are good looking."
And help with housework.
No, that's the next floor. Okay, so she's like,
I'm really
That's not
thinking
bad.
this is where she should stop, but continue.
well, probably, yeah. Okay, but she says, no. I gotta go see what's on the next floor. This is getting better and better. So she goes to the next floor. I think this is the fourth floor.
4th, yeah, it is.
And the sign says, "These men have jobs, like kids, are good looking, and help with the housework." And she goes, wow, this is pretty good. But yeah, I got to see what's on the next floor. So she goes to the 5th floor, and there's a sign there, and it says, "These men have jobs, they like kids,
Incredibly good looking
incredibly good looking, they help with the housework,
and romantic.
and romantic."
I think I know where this is going. She should stop.
And she,
That's what I said.
so she's thinking,
Brian Sage says you should just pull Deb in and let her tell the joke.
okay, she's thinking, okay, this is great. But I just got to see what's at the top. I got to see what's at the top. So she goes to the top floor, and the top floor, there's a sign there that says, you want to tell them?
Nope, you go ahead.
Are you going to let me tell it? Okay. All right. This floor has been visited by 31,327 women. There are no men on this floor. This floor is to prove the point that women can never be satisfied.
Okay, not what I thought, but close enough. Yep. Well, when I was a young man, I was told, and by the way, this applies to men as well as women, okay? So I really shouldn't say men or women, I should say people. They know 2 things. The way it was told to me was girls know 2 things. What they want and what they'll settle for. She said it settled around the 3rd or 4th floor. Okay. But by the way, I was holding my fingers like this for a reason. Just before we started, when I told my wife that John wasn't going to make it, I was getting ready. I shaved. I brushed my teeth in case any of you guys have smell-o-vision. And my wife says, "Sarah, are you going to be the Three Stooges, or what she said, or the Rat Pack? You're going to be the Three Stooges or the Rat Pack?" I didn't get the joke. She goes, "The three of us are the Three Stooges. If John had joined us and there's four, it's a Rat Pack." And I was like, "Wait, weren't there six in the Rat Pack?" And it was Joey Bishop, Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, Sammy Davis Jr.,
Joey Bishop.
Was that it? It's five. Okay. So, but she goes, "Okay, make it the Beatles." I went, "Oh, so we're the Three Stooges of the Beatles." So guess what? We're the Three Stooges. If John had joined us, we've been the Beatles. She had a great idea. She goes, "Since you're doing all this AI cartoons, you need to make a band." Well, John plays a bunch of instruments, including guitar. So did I. Our person who I'm not supposed to let this information out. So one of our other people that we all know was a professional drummer for a while. Don't say who, you know who, but don't say, because that's not part of, his world now. Anyway, but I was saying, wait a minute, we got a drummer, we got two guitarists, but neither of you guys play any musical instruments, right?
Used to, but
what did you play?
A bass.
Oh, okay, great. We got a bass player. So Ken, your backup vocal.
You guys are in deep trouble if I'm backup vocalist.
Actually, you're out. It's going to be Steve, me, John, and the other person as the Beatles, and you'll
be the manager.
You're going to be the guy holding the. You were the AV guy, so you'll be holding the boom mic.
Well, actually, I did the lighting and sound for the band.
Like I said, you get the boom mic.
There you go.
But I can make that happen.
When one of us can't be here, then it'll be Elwood and Jake.
There you go. The Booze Brothers. I'm sorry. The Booze Brothers. It looks like Oboe Man. Max plays the radio.
It looks like an oboe man.
Oh, Bill, you should not have let me know that. Now I am so going to use it. He used to play the trombone, so KLS and C likes boners. Okay. Oh, I did not just go there.
There's a name for someone who likes to hang out with musicians. Drummer.
And I thought it was groupie.
There you go. Ken, we need more cowbell.
What's that, cowbell?
It's an old
Ken.
Just an old SNL thing.
It's with Christopher Walken. Was a Blue Oyster Cult? They use the cowbell on "Don't Fear the Reaper." Ding, ding, ding. It needs more It needs more cowbell. You got to admit that was a pretty clever one. SNL. We all remember SNL in 75, 76 when it was really was not ready for primetime players. We all know, we could all gripe all day about what's happened with Steve-O Reasonable's Gone Krupa. Gene Krupa? I don't know who that is.
Krupa.
I have no idea. It means nothing to me.
He was a famous drummer. Oh,
okay. But every once in a while, even today, they come up with a real winner. And cowbell was a great one. Okay. Time for You Lived in the 70s if you recognize these phrases. Okay. I'm going to throw them out. You guys reply. Land Shark. Land Shark. Saturday Night Live.
Right, yeah.
Not Candygram. Okay. We are the Killer Bees. That's the standard. Come on, Ken. You got to remember the Killer Bees.
Yes, I do. What about it?
The Killer Bees was so popular, they spoofed it on The Simpsons with that. It was supposed to be from the Latino channel. The guy was always in the bee suit.
Okay.
We are the Killer Bees. Okay. Something else that's very 70s. The AMC Pacer.
Yeah.
Okay. That did not really select. You guys' responses are most disappointing. I expected witticisms and witty repartee. I was thinking like, no, you mean the glass? You mean the glass gremlin? What?
What about the Pinto?
Boom.
Boom!
That's the one, yeah. that's
I
the
was
one-
drinking. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Kaboom! The Ford firebomb.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. Why can't we be friends? There was a novelty song that was made out of clips of other songs. I don't know how they got away with it unless they paid the rights. But it was like called like the Land Shark song or Jaws or something. Ken, something's moving behind you. There's an apparition on your boat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's,
There's a ghost opening cabinets.
yeah,
Here we go.
that's,
Tom Fox got it. Mainway Toys.
Mainway Toys! Johnny Bag of Glass!
It's a prism. It's a science project.
Irwin Mainway.
Sledge-o-matic.
Sledgehammer. Oh, wait a minute. It slices and dices and makes tons of julienne fries, and boy, does it catch fish. The Bassmaster. The first episode of Saturday Night Live I saw, they did the skit where Dan Aykroyd and Gilda Radner, I think it was Gilda Radner, did the whole thing about, you come to such and such steakhouse, and you pull out a chainsaw, you kill your own cow, you butcher your own moose. Okay, meatballs. Bill Murray, you know, what the news media said, yes, at our camp, the children will do this, this, and this, and then eventually, as their final project, they will stalk and kill a live bear.
I think we have. You know how that one guy kept surfing and he reached the end of the internet.
Yeah.
And the Simpsons, you have reached the end of the internet.
Max just reached the end of tangents.
I am the king of tangents. Okay, guys. Well, I guess it's 9:21. We should let everybody go. Folks are fading, and I don't blame them.
Night, guys. Thanks for tuning in for this extended session. Hope you had as much of a good time as we
Because
did.
God knows we had fun.
Yeah. Good night, guys. From the good ship, Deep Thought. Glad you all made it. Have a good night.
You know what? I'll save the vacuum form stuff for another live stream. You guys take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.